Good evening. It is 7:31. We will call this Middle River Township Trustees meeting to order. Would everybody please join me in giving a pledge to the flag of our country? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before you have the minutes. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion, we suspend the reading of the minutes and approve them as written.
Second that motion.
Mr. Young? Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
we'll get right into our department reports. We'll start with Fire EMS Chief John Heath.
Good evening.
Evening.
Total incidents are 580 so far as of today. We've had 66 since the last meeting. Average calls per day, 4.79. We've had 10 overlapping calls. To the year to date is 131 overlapping calls. Mutual aid received this month that we gave was 1. We received 4. About year to date, we have given 32 and received 24, so we're in the plus. We've given more aid than we've taken. No real significant calls so far. We're having a couple issues with some bonfires being too big, causing some neighborly complaints. We've handled those pretty easily. There's still a burn ban in effect right now due to the ODNR's. What they decide is because of it's dry out. I mean, right now it's raining like crazy, so it's really not dry, but we've had a couple issues.
Is that still 6A to 6P?
6A to 6, 6A to 6B. At 6 p.m., if you want to burn and it's not a nuisance to your neighbors, we have no issue with it as long as it's within its rights. Now, farmers can have agricultural permits and they're able to burn at different hours, so that does happen. Our new SCBAs were delivered and crews are training on them and have them operationally hopefully by May 15th. We've been awarded a grant from the Marathon Pipeline Community Investment Program for $5,042.32 for a UTV fire rescue pump that will go on our current UTV. It's a benefit for us as a department for a lot of things. We're able to still go and rescue somebody back in the woods with that device. Plus, we can go back in farmlands that may have small fires in their fence rows that our brush truck just can't get back. Or if it's wet like tonight, that UTV can drive right back there.
Yep.
I got an update on the rescue. They're hoping for it to be returned by July 1st. They're currently got the doors off. They've started working on the metal side of it. They have found a couple more small issues once they took some of those panels back. They assured me that it's really not anything big. They were expecting it. They just couldn't see it until they could cut into it. Medic 250 had all the tires replaced. An alignment was completed today and it's back in service. It was out about a 1/16 of an inch. So we just had it realigned over at BSA with no issues. Brush 50 will be back by the middle of the week. It had 7 of 8 fuel injectors that are bad and an alternator that was bad. So they had it tested and said that it's running. They were just having an issue with the alternator today and replaced it. We, as a department, we had quite a few members who went to FDIC. Trustee Pettit came with us as well. Got to see a lot of new innovative stuff that's coming out. Talked to some of our vendors that we use with, and I think it's going to help with upcoming projects for us. And then the Cruise Assisted Indian Softball League with opening ceremonies with a flag display from our Quint. They were very receptive and had a good time with that. No other things going on with the department. Do you have any questions for me?
Thanks. You got anything? I think you covered everything.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, guys.
Our road and cemetery supervisor, Don O'Connor.
Good evening.
Good evening.
From the road side, we really haven't been out on the roads much, just when we get calls, something going on. This is May, so we're concentrating in the cemetery quite a bit, but all our equipment is up and in good working order. We got the road mowing tractor out and it will be serviced and ready to go. We'll probably start road mowing at the end of May. I don't know if any of you guys have been by, but the new back is on the salt barn. The roof is not yet, but the new back is up and actually fits. What are we doing with the old one?
Good question. Probably fold it up and get it inside for now.
Yeah.
Is it going back to them or?
Well-
Is it ours or what?
Well, it should go back to them, but
Yeah.
being it was put up, they may not take it back, but they sent us the wrong one, so it's gonna be a little bit of an argument. But yeah, just fold it up and put it inside for now until we hash it out
Get
with
all
the,
wrapped up.
yeah.
Okay, that's really about it from the road side of the house. Cemetery side of the house, we've been getting slammed with funerals. I've got 4 this week. We're pouring our foundations Wednesday morning, excuse me, at 7:30. I was able to get a truck, I couldn't believe it. So we will be pouring Wednesday at 7:30 for our spring pour to get that out of the way. So if any of you trustees would like to show up.
7:30 a.m.
Bring a flip.
7:30 p.m.
Never gonna do it under lights.
Hey, never know, man.
Bring a trowel.
You gotta take it when they give it to you.
That's true.
That's not the truth.
Yeah, so, I don't think it's gonna be too bad of a pour, cause like in one area, I've got like 9 within 2 rows of each other.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, so. But we still got them everywhere as usual. We're working on getting excuse me, getting the prisoners into weed eat. It's always a big help for us. And really, that's about it. Did you guys know anything about cleanup down at the park? Evidently somebody down there organized the cleanup of the park,
Which park? Porter Park?
Porter Park,
Porter
yeah.
Park.
'Cause we happened to drive by one day and there was like 5 or 6 bags of trash piled up and some vinyl siding and stuff. I mean, we picked it up and hauled it off.
Whoever did it, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we
I
did. I
didn't.
mean, we did. Somebody said some gentleman was on Facebook or something like that, and in mom's site, I don't know what they all are.
If they let us know, we know to pick the trash up, but that's good. You just keep an eye out. So
And that's about it, really.
did we get that grasses taken care of there in the front? You got all the grasses dug out of there? Or did you just cut them down?
We just cut them down.
Okay.
I wasn't sure exactly what we wanted to do with them.
Okay.
I mean, it wouldn't really break my heart to take like completely half of them out.
All right. Well,
Because we're gonna move the sign, because it was on 2 4x4 posts and they rotted out, so we're looking at mounting it on the building up high, band board, where it'll be undercover and everything, because we had to rebuild it a little bit, because it was rotted out a little bit too.
okay.
And that's it.
Anybody got anything for Don?
Did you guys talk at all about trying to pour those gaps in the block?
Yes, that's another plan for Wednesday.
Maybe try to get that same
If we can
time.
if we've got some extra concrete, getting it down there, maybe have a bucket brigade type thing.
Because I know Nathan sent us that quote for that waterproofing type
Mhm.
thing on there, and that'd just be one of the things that Nathan was hoping maybe we could get that done before Brian puts the rest of the
Yeah.
top up. I didn't want to call Brian and say, hold up,
No.
No,
because
yeah,
this is
don't do
taking
that,
forever.
Do you, do you have it formed already?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's not gonna take much to form it,
Yeah.
especially that one top one.
Is right,
I mean,
right.
it's wide open on the top anyway, so
Right.
it's easy to pour. The hard one's gonna be that one in the corner down the bottom.
Yeah, but maybe if we got it where the end of the load or something, where it was a little dry or something, we could.
Yeah,
Make it work,
that's
or-
our plan. We've talked about it, see if we can either get them to take it down there, maybe do a bucket brigade, take a bunch of buckets up there and get what we can.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good.
Alrighty.
All right. Thanks, Don.
Mhm.
Our Matterford Township Sheriff Deputy, Brandon Baldwin.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Brandon.
So from April 17th to today's date, not including today's calls for service, 23 calls, no criminal arrests, even though some warrants were actually filed today for a subject. 22 traffic stops, 5 assists, 29 business checks, about 80 citizen contacts, and then 1,162 miles placed on the cruiser during that time frame. Couple notes I have here, the stop sign issue at Southern Vista and Green Meadows is improving. Compared to last month, there's really not as many that are running the stop sign when I'm in the area. However, there's still a couple that are. I'm thinking maybe that might just be due to how rough the patch of road is turning on to Ian's in from Southern Vista. That could be part of the issue. I've started week 3 of FTO training with the deputy that's assigned to me, Deputy McHenry. So far, he's doing a great job. Once he's complete with FTO training, he'll be assigned to the regular road patrol division. So definitely enjoying the fact that I get to have the ability to train him. Pretty soon, I'll be reaching out to both the county garage and then maybe the quick lane up there on First Street in reference to getting the cruiser in to get the HVAC and blower fan looked at. It is extremely loud. I don't know if possibly when Jermaine was changing the cabin air filter that they broke something, but it is very loud. So I'm gonna have them get that looked at, as well as taking a look at the brakes, see.
They probably stuck a business card in it for you.
Yeah, probably. That, and then we're gonna have the brakes looked at, see if they're due to be replaced, because they're barking at me pretty good. However,
Have you ever put brakes on it?
It's been a while.
So you did, okay. I was gonna say, I'm sure you,
Other than that, a few weeks ago, I completed a tactical response to active threats. The training was based a lot around active shooter and active threat scenarios. It was a 2-day training that was put on in Montgomery County by the Ohio Tactical Officers Association. It's a fantastic training, absolutely fantastic. It's probably some of the best I've went through as far as any type of active shooter training. Other than that, traffic enforcement has increased currently in the area of Springfield Xenia Road and between Houston Road and West Jackson. It seems like speed seems to be the main issue. It's always been kind of an issue there, but trying to put a little bit more of a presence out there on that end. Other than that, no real tall grass issues that I'm seeing right now throughout the neighborhoods. There are a couple that I'm monitoring, but I just think it's due to a lot of rain, and the people that live there, they're elderly. So I don't really want to mess with it. Other than that, if I could have you send me the information for the lady on West Jackson that's having the issue with the neighbor having some stuff in his backyard.
Yeah.
And if you can tell me the exact address in reference to New Horizon about the refuse trailer in the backyard, that would be great.
I need to get that.
Yeah, that way I can kind of pinpoint where it's at, because right now I'm not finding it. Might not be there, you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. House on Jackson, though, that's one of those ones way back the lane. and
That's
it was-
right back.
right past,
Yeah.
it's right
so-
past Manette, first
That-
one on the road.
If she lets me back there, that's great. I just don't know if,
Yeah, you're gonna have to make contact because that
Yeah.
gate's usually locked.
yeah,
I
and,
mean, you can drive around it in the
Right.
field, but
right, or just shoot down the bike path, but
yeah,
even then,
yeah, what you got to climb through at the bike path
Yeah.
to see that
Yeah.
is pretty thick.
yeah. Other than that, the little portion of New Horizon in between Arrowhead and Raymond, it is getting rough, real rough. So, and I think it's just due to the fact that it's always been covered, so I don't think the rain's doing it any favors in the fact that it never gets any sun. But it's getting pretty rough out on that part. Other than that, it's really about all of that.
Okay. Anybody got anything for Brandon? Okay. Thanks, Brandon.
No problem.
We have anything? Nothing from Houston Fire. Our fiscal officer, Dave Rudy.
Just have the latest credit card, statements for trustee Pettit to review, checks for you guys to sign. And then I was able to finally get caught up on bank recs and the reports. So I got January through March for you. So I'll look over. So should be caught back up going forward.
Anybody have any questions for Dave or anything? Good. So I suppose I'll move right into old business. Or is the old business, you have anything on the aggregation at all? Anything?
Yeah, lots of people, I don't know if you guys have had them, I've had quite a few emails about electric people that opted out, that now want to get back in after the article in the newspaper on Sunday. So I keep my Dynegy letter next to the phone so that when they email me or they call me, I can give them that number, because we cannot access your account and make sure you're in the aggregation. You have to call the 800 number and do it yourself. So the gentleman did that today and had some concerns, so I'm gonna keep those notes and talk to our company, Trey Bell, about them. On the gas end of it, contracts for gas aggregation. We had, if you remember back last winter, we voted to give them the ability to lock in anything under 70, 73, I believe. They locked it in at 59 cents per CCF. It'll be a 2-year deal. Letters went out today, so people will be getting gas letters. Again, the gas, similar to the electric, right now, that price is higher than Columbia gas, just like the electric was higher than, but they're thinking, obviously, we get on closer to fall, Columbia gas is gonna go up. But we can't guarantee that. So if you want to opt out and stick with that Columbia gas price all summer, pay attention to your bill in the fall, keep your letter. If the price goes above what our aggregation is, then you can switch back. People need to realize aggregation is not guaranteed. It's a tool that you can use to save some money. It's not a guarantee that we're always going to get you the best price. That's not what aggregation is.
And it's no problem to switch back and forth. So if you want to,
You can switch back and forth with that, and you can even get online and do your own thing. You just want to make sure there's no fee to switch out of it. And you want to be sure you read the fine print if you get into your own contract with a different carrier. So, even with the electric, I did talk to a lady that called Energy Harbor because she was confused, and Energy Harbor gave her a better price than what we negotiated with Dynegy for 18 months. So it wasn't much better, but it was a little bit better. So you can do it yourself. That's the confusing part of aggregation, is if you get online and look, there's lots of other options sometimes. People trying to sell electric or sell gas.
yeah, and there were some comments on Facebook that the trustees got everybody into this aggregation thing, but it's not quite the truth. It was voted on before any of us were even here. So,
Well, and yeah, our state legislators in 1999 are the ones that got us into the aggregation thing.
Yeah.
They voted. It went in 2000. It became an open market in Ohio. That was done on the state level. We voted it in 14, and even if we didn't have it, the county voted it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we would have aggregation in Medford Township. 2014, it was on the ballot, and our township voted to approve aggregations.
right. Alrighty. You got anything on the construction up there on?
Oh, just the latest update down there is looked like the base asphalt got paved on the south of Robert Pike. So weather is not being very cooperative right now. We were looking at maybe being able to open that up here in 2.5 weeks. This will make a little dent in the schedule. But other than that, it sounded like there was some discussion about prematurely closing north of Robert Pike. It kind of sounds like it's maybe not going to happen now. We'll wait till school's out. So that's at least that's what I'm being told right now. They were going to have a little 2-week lull in there and wanted to keep moving and maybe jump right in there, but I think it's going to make things a little chaotic for school. So that's all I have.
All right. And did you happen to notice there at the end of Southern Vista, did they do anything there? Is it still gravel?
No, it's pretty rough, actually.
Pretty rough,
It was like
okay.
I went through there tonight, actually, and I'm just going to call them in the morning
Okay.
because it needs to be touched up with some gravel down there and smoothed up some. Can't blame them for being a little, I mean, it's pretty rough.
Pretty
Where
rough,
that
yep.
water line trench went through.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we got an email. So, any There's of old business to talk about.
We want to talk about sim sites, old business.
Yeah.
Is that old? Yeah, we could do that in old business.
I mean,
Said you want to just make,
are you guys happy with, I mean, I'm happy with that.
yeah, I think we
Price
all
and that.
agreed.
The only thing is, did we have any discussion about and letting them do the data entry?
We did, but here's the issue. When I spoke with Don about it, there were a lot of loose ends to tie up. So here's what we're gonna do. They're gonna come in on our county meeting, hopefully in June. So we're gonna sick Don on him and let him and Don hang out for a couple hours. That way all the questions are answered
Right,
we don't have to go through all that, and he can sit down with him, because
right,
he asked me some things. I'm like, I'm just reading what they ask. And
right.
so what we plan on doing is let's get it started, because it's gonna take, a couple months.
Just to do the, right, just to get
Yeah.
the basic.
Yeah, to enter
started.
the stuff, we can do that. As soon as we turn that on, that'll go.
And they
So,
can go ahead and do that
Yeah.
if they decide to go with it, once they get it. Once they
so if
get
we
it
just
designed
go
and-
with creating the
Right.
platform, that total was $19,180, I believe.
Yeah,
And-
I'll make a motion of that. I'll make a motion, that we go through sim sites. That's the software for the cemetery. And at $19,180, and we get that started.
I second that.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. Pettit.
Yes.
Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
And like I say, we'll do the other end of it,
Get them talking.
Yeah.
Kind of figure that all out.
because he's got a lot of valid questions that I don't know, and he's right. There's some things, and then Chris has some questions for Don, and he goes, "Well, what kind of stuff are we entering?" I said, I just need to let these guys talk, because I have no idea what. I said, it's a big book with a bunch of papers hanging out of it, so good luck.
Yeah.
So that'd cost us a couple $100 to ship that over there probably, but anyway. So we'll move on that part of it in June. And we already talked about the salt bin.
I sent you guys an email. It was kind of late. Might pass this down. This number right here, whether we need to let Dave look at that too and see if we're in a position to spend something near that for road work for this year. That'd be including Snyder Road. Snyder Road, though, is going to cost more than that 250,000. We had talked about that.
Yeah, so it was about 100,000 more, wasn't it?
So one thing we need to do, we need to get moving on, if we're not ready to say yes tonight on doing that stuff there, I need to get some bid dates and back some dates up, like, because we would actually open bids at this meeting.
Right, but wait, that includes Snyder,
Yeah.
the 360?
That number on the bottom,
$499.
490.
No, but I mean, that includes that okay. And so
That's- yeah.
250 of that's covered with a,
250 on top of that will be with Snyder. That's how much we need.
I didn't have a chance to check.
Really?
When do we have to have the OPWC stuff done by for the Southern District?
Well, so
That project.
John wants to wait and bid that late for like a next year construction. Remember, that funding will be available like in July,
Right.
but we wanted to make sure that
they're
Enid
done.
Xenia,
Yeah,
South Xenia,
I didn't have a chance to check.
Yeah,
We could
so-
use that funding in 2024. Or if we had to have it spent.
we should, trying to think, because Enid Xenia or South Xenia's job was 2022 funding, and it's going to get constructed this year. Like it was available last July,
Okay.
and we bumped it to piggyback the project.
Okay. I just
So,
want to make sure.
yeah, we
I
can-
didn't have a chance to check it. So.
So if anything, when Jay gets done that, you want to give that to Dave
yeah.
Right.
and
So the cost, the project cost for the Snyder Road is the 364.
that's the estimate.
Right, that's estimate.
Original estimate
Is
was
that,
near 250, and that's with
Right.
price adjustments.
So
right,
then-
right.
And part of that will be covered by the,
Part of that extra, the 114,000 is inside that 499.
right,
So that's what I was just saying.
right.
So the
That's
499
part of
doesn't
the
include the
499.
250.
No.
Okay,
this
so it's
would be a-
499 after our
So basically, it's
250.
gonna be a $750,000 project.
Right on,
Right,
okay.
right.
So I think it'd be
We didn't-
fairly attractive. we actually could get, maybe Barrett would become a player because it's just a Mad River Township paving job.
Right.
There's a lot of chip seal in there, but there's repair, and that's a nice chunk of paving on Southern Vista.
Right.
Go back in here and cover up Bass Lake.
Right.
I double checked. I sent you guys some estimates early on. And after we got our bids on our county job, I fattened up the chip seal numbers a little bit because we actually got some little bit higher numbers, chip and fog from, if you think about it in the past, I think if I remember right, I thought we chipped out on Fowler or Jackson for like $1.65. Prices on the county job were $2.30. So
Well, that's about how much everything's gone up. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous, but
That's about right.
we kind of held back last year, so I mean.
We held back. That's what I was just gonna ask. Do you remember what we spent last year, Dave, on
Remember what we spent.
our levy brings in 300,000 a year.
I've
A
got
little over three.
appropriated 640,
that's what you have appropriated.
which would
This year.
basically take the whole balance. We got.
So basically we're looking at 500.
We're looking at 500,000 and you've got
Yeah.
appropriated 640. So then we'd have some room left for
Yeah.
repair
We could spend
in
more
other
money.
places. Yeah.
But,
No, we'd have a little backup though for some places that we find.
and Matt's,
Okay,
they've been
we're
still
Well-
crack sealing.
Like New Horizon down there. we
right.
were just
that
talking
we
about.
just talked about right on.
But if you look on that summary sheet also, that very front sheet, that's got the totals of the plats.
Park Ridge, Grandview, Snyderville.
Do you notice
That's
where,
right.
notice where I put center line and edge line? In on this project, I wanted to include like 20 miles of road paving or painting, sorry,
Stripe, yeah.
restripe all our main roads that we just crack sealed.
Yep.
Because I know, well, like Matt told me, Old Mill Road, there's some places down there where it's wore away.
Right.
So basically center and edge on our main routes that have been our paved
So that's
roads.
included in that.
That's in that
Yeah.
total too. And those are hefty numbers. I
Yeah.
went and looked at our bid prices on our county striping and
It's
There.
not cheap.
it's not cheap, but I fatten them up a little bit because it's not 150 miles like the county thing would be. It's
Right.
only
Yeah, you've got 40,000 down for that.
Yeah.
You've
just
put-
on painting.
just on paint.
Yeah.
That's center
Which I would
edge.
agree. We talked about that last year. We had some roads that were.
Well, so think about it, because I've seen some of this crack sealing they've done and they're all over the stripes.
Yep.
So it wouldn't be a bad idea to just and go in there and restripe all that stuff. Those are all main routes. And that, does Fowler need striped again? Probably not, but why not? Matt just did crack sealing on it and he's on it.
Well, we did
So Jackson,
Stein too.
yeah. So Stein is
We
one.
figured while it was closed, it was a good time. I just called and told him I should go ahead and knock it out, but a citizen actually called and gave me that
Stein will be
idea.
more
so-
down even,
Yeah.
from this thing.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
So you were wanting to know how we could spend a big chunk of money. That's what I brought tonight was a sheet showing you how we can go about doing it. 'Cause Dave probably didn't get to write the big checks last year like he was hoping. So
Yeah.
it's like-
Well, I mean, we
So-
got to get it done, and unfortunately,
Well-
it's costing us a fortune. But is it
Well, we waited a year
is it going to go
to see if
down?
the prices would ease out, and they're not going up.
One thing is though, so the county bids came in like way under what we estimated. Now, there was a lot of tonnage on asphalt. So is this going to happen here?
Right.
And this has got a lot of chip seal on it, but I really think like what you guys did in Lindare Acres was what turned out pretty good. And why not do it in Parkridge Acres and get that sealed
We'll
up?
start getting your base.
We've been talking
established.
about, Don was talking about going down there in Snyderville and getting those repairs done and getting things sealed up. So, I mean, let's do it. If we think we can. Make it
Okay,
work. I
You
mean, we
need
did-
these numbers. You need to. Just
Well,
move
the
on
one thing
tonight.
is we need to talk about like bid dates. And I was thinking, we're looking at something like our second June meeting, opening bids. I mean, that's something we could probably, because remember how we back up 1 week and we do an advertisement in the paper, like
Yeah, there's a
Like,
couple weeks you have to advertise,
it's like-
something that.
the 2 months, so the Monday before and the Monday before that or something would be an ad in the paper. So,
It's the 1st of May. I say
Brandon.
we just,
What's going on with that? Is it working still?
Yeah, it says it's-
That's good.
so our first meeting is the 5th and our second meeting is it's Juneteenth. So it's, we're
So
gonna
it'll
move
be
it to the
Tuesday.
20th.
Probably
Second
have to.
Meeting would be the 20th then.
I mean, I say we just go ahead and we bid that. personally.
I mean, it's,
Go ahead and what?
Bid it,
Yeah,
well,
approved it,
that's what,
to go ahead and approve.
and if you've got more than that appropriated, then
Yes.
we have no issue with it. I mean, we could,
Right.
because basically, guys in our office are finishing up the Springfield Township and the Enon, South Xenia plans right now. And there's a Bethel Township ARPA curb inlet thing that they're rolling through there. But we were set up to go ahead and get this thing all together, here in like over the next couple of weeks and have a draft set of plans and stuff. So I just trying to think, like, say that today's the 1st, maybe can have plans ready by May 19th. Give us a little time in there.
it sounds good to me. I'm with Jay. If we just go ahead and,
Go ahead and set like a bid opening for the June 20th, I think, and then
it's all right with me.
when we did those, it's, when we helped with the last Maverick Township OPWC project we bid out, did we help with the newspaper advertisement? Okay.
Ran
Okay.
the ad for us and everything, just sent us the bill.
So,
Yeah, so they can do that, into the first week of June,
yeah, man.
put the advertisement in the paper. Maybe we can be nice getting Barrett and,
It would be nice
John,
to
are
get
you-
more than just one.
yeah.
I mean,
Bid
basically,
on
so
it.
the chip seal is MC 3000. It's the emulsion that bleeds a little bit more like the old stuff. So what we ran into this year on the county program, Hensley was the only one that bid it because Hensley was the only one that will mess with that stuff.
Yep.
Still, it's a kind of a pain to clean your distributor all out and whatnot. And we really feel it's a better product. It's, if you get that down, you can't really do it when it's really hot out.
Yep.
It bleeds right through. You got to go out, put screenings on it and stuff. So this will have that as well. Most likely would be Greta
Yeah,
doing it through this contract, but there are repairs on there. So whoever the asphalt company would be the one coming in and milling the repairs out.
Right.
And then, we'll cut us a butt joint there at the entrance of Bass Lake, and we'll cover that up. And, and there's a big chunk of repairs. I was thinking on Snyder Rib. Something we need to, you brought up once before about the water issue in front of UDF on Snyder Road. We need to kind of look into that and see what we can do there. I know we bring the road up some, it'll help some, it's just gonna force it into their driveway. But UDF has an underground retention pond.
mhm.
And I wonder if there's a way that, if there's something there, we could tap into that and set a drain or something. And
Because that entrance into O'Reilly's right on the other side is as bad as
Yeah.
that worse. For some reason, that little section of road right there clowns real bad.
so we need to, I'll get the plans on both those sites and see if there's anything there that we can, because it's really like stuff coming out of their lots.
Yeah.
Kind of comes right out on the road there, don't have anywhere to go.
Yep.
So it'd be nice to come up with a little game plan. Maybe we could do something on that. And most likely, like say this bid's open June 20th. I mean, it could be a month before the thing would start. So we would have some time here to, if not later, they might.
I
not
was gonna
start
say it'd
till
probably be at
later.
least a month the way it's
Yeah.
going.
Getting contract stuff all together and
Yeah.
whatnot. So, okay. So June 20th, and then we'll help with the ad. 2 ads. And remember that Hensley's been chip or crack sealing still.
Yeah,
So we'll have a little bit of expense on that, but Matt keeps saying it's not mounting to a whole bunch. So they were,
did they get Stein? Did you hear when you talked to him, did he say they got it yet?
Yeah, the end toward the part that's cut off the trap, yeah, they've done it.
they got
Yeah.
that.
It was just a good time to do it. I
Down
mean,
there the other day being nosy.
Yeah.
They've got it.
So
Good.
he went through Tiffany Acres and Chico Court, buzzed through that. There was a few things in there, he said.
Yeah.
And what was that on Fowler? I said something to him, if we run, if we have good weather and they want to keep rolling and we got some quantity left, West Hunter Drive by the Drug Mart has never had anything done to it. And that's original asphalt from 15 plus years ago.
You talked to him about out there at Chickasaw and that too.
That out there.
We were out there, on that,
Mhm.
that's starting up.
I just said, but we can find cracks.
Oh,
if
yeah.
We want to keep.
we got
rolling.
plenty of stuff to take care of.
So,
How long has it been since we paved that? What year was that?
We've done it since I've worked. We did a paving on the concrete and chip seal in the back or something, didn't we? Like a
Yeah.
combination of chip and fog on part and asphalt over the concrete
Yeah,
section.
the concrete was so bad.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
tried to get, back then, we tried to get the township to go in and do a road diet and go in and pull like 3 foot off each side or
side,
something,
right.
because it's so
Right.
wide.
It is.
And I don't think anybody was real hip on that thing. I mean, you can go in and hog that out with a mill and just put dirt back
Right.
but it was
It's wide.
some, back and then when that went in, there's a handful of subdivisions over the county have 30-foot wide roads. And they're not street parking type things.
Yeah.
You're like, why in the world would anybody, if it's not like curb streets where you need cars? I mean, where I'd love to have 30-foot wide roads is like Sunnybrook or something down there in my neighborhood where all this traffic's going right now. 'Cause
Sure,
you
right
don't
now,
realize
yeah.
that
Yeah, 60
people
foot wide.
people are still parking on the road and you got all this bypass traffic going through there because of the project. It's like you guys come down here to fire truck, heck, you can barely get through back there by Tim's house and stuff. So that's all I got for that. And I think it'd be good to, that chip seal stuff. I'd like to see Parkridge all done like that.
I would too.
Matt even mentioned, Matt Wilt mentioned that, remember when we did the chip seal interlayer on some of that paving, like over on Jackson
Right.
and whatnot?
Right.
We did a ton of repairs out there and he said that very few cracks.
That's what he was telling me on
Yeah.
Fowler on the far south end, because that's where we
Yeah.
did the bigger.
Chip seal
We
there.
did the
Remember we did
larger
the-
rock
Yeah.
from
67s.
Jackson over. We
Yeah.
did the smaller rock from Jackson to Fairfield.
Right.
Mhm.
And he said it was all good, but he said that side, and it was really beat up
It
over
was
there.
real beat up.
He said it really held
Yeah.
up pretty good, so
And see, like,
it may be worth.
Tiffany Acres and Chico all got the chip seal underneath
Yep.
too, before the paving went down.
Right.
So,
I mean, that's why we did it, so we could do it in 5 years, figure out if it was worth the money.
yeah,
They're all saying that's the way everybody's doing it. It lets it move a little bit, and
Yeah.
you think about it, if it doesn't move a little, it breaks, and if it helps any at all, it's not that expensive.
Right.
Okay.
So. So do we need to make a motion for that? Do you need a resolution? What do you need to do on that, Dave?
Yeah, if you want to make the resolution, just to have it in. And then we're gonna go ahead and proceed.
With the
Get the
bid.
bid.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make the motion that we do a resolution to put out for bid $500,000 worth of road work that's listed in that package.
Second that.
250.
Yeah, so 750,000 total, 500,000 of local funds. I second that.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. Booth.
Yes. I hope the bids are better than that. We were really surprised on the county project. We estimated asphalt at $115 a ton and our actual bids came in around 90.
Oh, nice.
Like A and B dug deep and actually went aggressively after a bunch of east side work. Our county, the $2.1 million that the county engineer put into the program is all east side of the county. I really was surprised that, plant that's over here would get that aggressive all the way
over
across
there,
the
yeah.
county. That's kind of more in Shelley's wheelhouse with the Springfield Sand and Gravel plant being right there in the center. But they were about 100,000 lower.
Sending a message.
Yeah. That means a lot of people last year didn't do anything, so they're,
Yep,
because of the cost increase, so
Oh,
they're
I-
looking for work.
yep.
Clark County didn't spend anything.
Right.
Yep.
So
So,
that's, and they did the same thing. We're not doing as many bridges this year and we didn't spend all that last year and putting a bunch back in this year. So
all right. Well, will that wrap up old business?
I believe so.
I think so. We'll move on to new business. First thing I got, we got an email there today. We want to thank Linda Thomas. She did a great job. She volunteered her time and material and decorated the new sign we have at the road department. It looks fantastic and we appreciate that. So I haven't got to see it yet, but I saw the pictures.
Look great.
Yeah, it looked really good, really good. So, what other items of new business do we have? The only thing I did meet with, Deputy Baldwin over at the house next door here, and they're gonna do a little training, no forced entry, just a little training, there'll be nothing tore up. But it looks like the schedule for demolition is about 4 weeks away.
We need to get in there then.
Yep, so need to get in there and get whatever we're gonna get out of there and get things taken care
It's
of.
cabin's moved and see if we
Yeah.
can find them.
Just coming down to.
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, I just wanted to.
I see you got a few things in there. We gonna hurt you here doing that?
Not me. I mean, it'll be tight, but
Yeah, okay.
they were all down there before. Nathan won't be happy. So,
Yeah. I don't know if we ought to try to save them garages. I mean,
I don't see why.
I don't either.
No.
What's that? It's a trailer with the mowers or something's in there.
There's
The
plows.
roller trailers in there, the brush box, which is probably gonna get thrown away anyway, it's rotten. The V box is in there with the plow for the 350
Bucket truck.
bucket truck and chipper, and then in the one garage is just the mower trailer, that's it. I mean, everything fit down at the garage before, short up, but then we've got the storage back here.
Yeah,
Ultimately, it'd be nice to just get rid of this and eventually, even if we had to put something up down there at the road building.
Yeah.
Or get couple of your cargo boxes or something down there.
I
yeah.
mean, is it nice to have? Yeah, I mean, if it's gotta go, it's gotta go.
Okay. I guess what was your guys' thoughts on that waterproofing thing that Nathan sent out?
I think it's a good idea. I mean, if you're gonna put salt in there and you're pushing up against that edge,
Like a bunch of sealing. There was like a bunch of sealing they do and all those. Did you look at that quote?
He told me about it. Yeah, they'll go in and fill up any of the real big joints.
Yeah.
And I think they'll pretty much like parge them, take mortar and seal them up.
Right.
And,
Harry turned him on to this. When this Harry guy
yeah,
that he
because
uses
RV Terry went out of business.
Yeah.
This guy's out of Middletown,
something.
something like that.
I know the guy. I've worked with him before. He's a good guy.
And everything he said was viable, about putting the seal around the bottom and gluing it
Yeah.
down and everything.
I guess the one advantage would be like if your EPA buddy starts lurking around. I mean, we made a very good attempt to
Yeah.
get it sealed up good.
Have you ever seen one over there by Stebbins?
Yeah, That's what I'm wondering.
Right.
I don't even know they get salt in that thing.
I know it's not very deep.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think we're doing due diligence to
yeah.
seal it up.
And the price was what, 5,400?
52.
5,200,
something
okay.
like mid-five.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it. I think.
What
it's
are your
52
thoughts on it?
Yeah,
It's like you do all this, and it's like, I guess it's another thing to kind of
Yeah,
add to maybe the life of it.
if you don't do it now,
Yeah.
it's
we
gonna
got-
cost a lot more someday to power wash it
Right.
when it starts to corrode
yep.
and try and fix it.
And will it
And
even
this would
stick
go
then? You
over all
know what I
those
mean? After
strips.
Right.
stuff's back in them
And
cracks and
stuff
that.
will
Yeah.
not stick as well
Yeah.
Right.
if it's had salt in it for 5 years.
I know the county ones, of course, the county walls are poured, but they've had a lot of issues because they use them Quonset huts and where they went on top there and they lined it after the fact, had to go in there and clean it out and it just,
Now's the time to do it, no doubt.
I know that we got about 80 ton of salt that we're kind of running out of room and Fitz keeps bugging me to see if we can fit it in down there. I said, we don't even have a cover.
Yeah.
It's like,
Once we get it built, yeah.
They've been-
probably.
they've been up there at Lawrenceville trying to tuck it way up back in there. And
Hey, tell them they can borrow this old beat up one after we're out.
Did he send that to us in an email?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe he did.
Or did he? Or maybe, did I text it to you?
Maybe.
Yeah, it might have been a text. I don't know. I think Nathan might have texted.
Yeah, I was looking for it.
It's he either texted or emailed it. I just remember reading it.
I was just trying to get an exact price on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a text.
I guess I don't see it.
It's a PDF document. Look on your text with just
From,
Todd and
from
I.
Nathan, yeah.
I sent it to you guys because he sent it to my county phone. It's from Quality Waterproofing. It's a
Yeah, I
PDF.
got it.
Oh, it's actually 58.75.
Yeah.
58.75. Okay.
It's got notes on page 1.
Well, the
Page
notes
2.
there are like pretty generic because it's talking about houses and stuff, but yeah, 58.75, but we've, if we would have went with the one company, we would have been what, 100, what was it, Dave? 180,000 or something like that. It by the time we put the concrete and everything. So right now we're sitting at what, 70?
Right.
Piecing it out a little bit.
Yeah. So piecing it, when we've saved right now 100,000, if we throw this at it, we're getting a more quality for
That we wouldn't-
$90,000
that we wouldn't
less
have
than, yeah.
That we wouldn't have got the other way around.
Right.
So yeah, I'm good with that. I'll make a motion. We go ahead with, what'd you say it was, 5,800
58.75
To
with
seal
Quality Waterproofing.
quality waterproofing to seal the new salt storage.
Second.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mr. Pettit,
Yes.
Mr. Clerk.
Yes.
Got a message here that says that this thing's breaking up, freezing up, audio's getting jumbled up. So,
Does that mean somebody's watching?
yeah, it's Nathan.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe his internet?
Could be.
Tell me to get his boost mobile.
He's watching, like sitting there, like going like this, waiting for one of us to pull out that manila folder he gave us.
Yeah.
It's like,
Maybe next meeting.
Okay.
Almost had.
wonder if that came through. Like,
Oh, I guarantee it.
Okay.
Can you forward me that quick, just so I have it?
yes.
All right. Do we have any other items of new business?
Real quick here. Well, we can let, does anybody sign the
Anybody sign up?
Okay.
You can ask him. Just come in.
Mr. Cameron, do you need to speak?
I was just gonna ask you, two things. First one was, have we heard any more on when the speed control sign's gonna come out?
We're going to give it to,
He's been on vacation.
he's been on vacation.
Request has been made,
Okay.
Yeah.
just haven't got back, because
And then I wanted to share with you guys the bus barn, the idea of the bus barn going in over there isn't gonna happen in the near future, because they ran out of money to do that project, the school did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. We talked to them.
yeah.
They're trying to find funds elsewhere, and
Okay.
I had an idea. I thought they sell the bus garage and rent it to somebody or rent it from somebody until they build a new one, but I don't know if that'll cover the cost. So yeah, that's,
Yeah, unfortunately, the cost of that is gonna be, building a steel building like that, that's.
with the fuel tank and all the
full tank,
bins and
commercial and
lifts.
it's just gotten, those prices have really gone up here just all of a sudden
Yeah.
the last year. So they had to change the septic system over there. So
Yeah.
that cost them unexpected funds. And so I agree with you. I don't think I think that's gonna be on the back page for a few years.
Yep.
I did see that their little barn kit finally arrived down here at the new facility.
School.
Well, if that's all we have, and we will need to enter executive session. I make a motion to, what we say, enter executive session to consider the compensation of a public employee or official.
Second,
Mr. Young?
yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes,
Yes.
I do expect a little business when we return.
That shouldn't be very long.
No, it shouldn't be.